Glad you made it, Les. Same to you, Ryan. Lovely, shabby. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Storm Talk on this Wednesday, halfway through the month, right? Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I turned my mic down instead. Like, where's he going? He's fading away. All right, hello, everyone. I'm Brian Good. As always, technical issues. Speaking of this, and I'm going into a weird tangent right now. Has anyone tried the new upgrade they have for the? I'll say it, but hopefully your devices don't go off at home. And I apologize if they do. But the new Alexa Plus that's out there. That's the AI version of it, where you can change the voices. I upgraded just to see what it was like, and it started. I mean, it knew who I was. It knew who Dobie was. As well, I was asking how Dobie was doing, and asked if he was named after the Harry Potter character Dobby. It was a little weird. It's just a little wow. If you haven't seen that upgrade on it, I mean, if you need a friend sometime to talk to at home, maybe it's not a bad thing. But technology is, wow, gotten crazy, right? Okay, I sound like a boomer. You heard the little alert there, by the way, on the bottom of the screen. Again, that's Wavy, and we have this on our streaming channel all the time. They pop in automatically, and this is becoming faster than sometimes the weather service alerts and hitting the screens on our other systems. So Wavy is on it. So I highly encourage you guys to watch our Wave Weather Now channel. Most of you are right now, if you're seeing me. But again, the alerts will come in if there's a car accident. You hear a horn honk when Wavy jumps in. If there's a power outage, you'll hear the little sizzle of the power to give you an idea of what type of alert it is. But Ryan Hoke did a great job in designing this, and I'm telling you, it is a great tool. We're using it more and more, and you may see it more and more in severe weather coverage. But and there's another one just to let you know the blog has been activated there. being sent out. All right, so very cool stuff. Okay, so welcome aboard, everyone. We got several things to talk about. Let me run through some of the morning chatter first off and make sure you guys are good. Hello, North Vernon. Hello to Tim. How are you doing? Cameron, can we have the annual Be Good fan base winter forecast for wavies? Look, I saw your comment on the Frymire forecast. I know what you're trying to do, Cameron. You're trying to get me to get it out early. Let's see. Use a Brian Good voice. I don't know if you'd want my voice as AI. Although my best friend Heath back at college at WKU, every time, because they, especially the old style of the dorms, they were all bunk beds. And so every time it was time to go to sleep, I was there and just, I can't sleep. I have bad insomnia. And he would be trying to sleep and then be like, hey, he'd hit the button. He goes, hey, be good. He said, can you tell me a story? Just any story so I can go to sleep. So I would tell him a story and then he'd fall asleep every time. So apparently my voice puts people to sleep. So I apologize if you're nodding off right now. So I don't know if it's a good idea. I want you guys to stay awake if there's bad weather, not fall asleep in the middle of a tornado warning. Good morning. Good morning. Carrie, you were first. I saw, right? On the YouTubers today. Everyone's asking already about the system. All right. Aaron, I see your comment there. We're going to get into that. We got a lot to get into in a very short amount of time, as always. We had a quick power outage in eastern Jefferson County. It may have popped in on Wavy. If it's a certain percentage, I think 1 or even 2%, it will trigger on the system in relation to the county. Let me make sure I'm clear on that. Okay, everyone seems good. Fantastic. So what we're going to do, we're going to cover, obviously, the short term of the front moving in today, the weekend setup. Yes, so we need to talk about that. And then I'll give you some trend of how Halloween is looking today. We'll get a little more data tomorrow. We also get the drought update tomorrow that we'll be going over. So we have a few items to cover there. Let's start, though, in the short term, as always, and then we'll kind of just go into this at putting toes in the water. Go baby steps. Right now, live view in Bardstown. Gorgeous at the courthouse and square there. Sun right over, looks like. Bright and sunny out. Fall color continues to ramp up slowly but surely, but we're about, 15th? About 10 days. We hit peak around here on average. However, the active weather pattern that's coming our way, they always laugh at me when I say this in the back office, but this weekend and parts of next week will feature several leaf strippers. And these leaf strippers, do not please create a meme with that in mind. People have tried that before. Don't do it. But it will take care of some of these leaves before they have a chance to fully change color. They'll be ripped off and fall into the ground. That's always a bummer. But we deal with that this time of the year. You want a calm setup, and that's how you get your really pretty falls, is when you have a calmer pattern, but all the right conditions met. But you get into severe weather, you get active weather, just general wind, and then it just kind of ruins the show. The positive is that it blows most of the leaves out of your yard into your neighbor's yard, and that saves you a lot of work. So I think that that's a plus. Most of our highs have not hit 80 yet, staying below it. We may have a chance to hit 80 on Saturday, maybe above that. But after that, there may be a slight opportunity, but we may be done with the 80s here, guys. So we're getting to that time of year. It's each little category of, not really 100s. We didn't reach that, but, the 90s, 80s, so everything gets shaved off the list. As we move further along, it's no longer an option. And the 80s are right there. They're right to the point of being cut off all the way. So we're almost there, guys, into the true fall feeling. 58 degrees in Louisville now, 50 just about everywhere. It will be cooler, by the way. Not so much tonight because the front moves in, but it'll be a little breezier. It will be a little breezier tonight. That will not allow as much of a drop until really Friday morning. I think Friday morning will be the coolest morning of the week, where we will have widespread 40s in the area again. Maybe some jackets as you head out early on Friday, so don't be surprised if you need that. Hi, Tawana. Tawana's always walking by here. Where are you going?
To put this back on Marissa's desk.
What is that? You want to show the chat here? Here, hold on.
I made a little octopus for Marissa.
She like octopus?
No, she just saw me make it for somebody else, so she wanted one. So yeah,
that's cute.
I put glasses on it, so I was going to put it back on her desk.
You were doing that and watching
Our AI training
you know,
video.
training video. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I need to do something with my hands. I can't focus.
Well, it's very cute. I think she's gonna like it.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You want one?
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was gonna see if you're gonna offer, but yeah, that's
I'll make you one.
that's good. Thank you, Swana.
I'm walking.
Appreciate that. You need to get out here and go to bed. All right, Swana Andrew, everybody, making octopus in the weather office. She's very talented at all that stuff. Okay, so the setup today, again, quiet, new rain here. There is the front that is going to be dropping in from the north, and that is going to be sinking in as we head into tonight. Could get a few clouds from that, nothing major at all. I think it'll be fairly quiet for us, just resetting our temperatures, right? So this will move out of the way. The system we're watching that's going to be involved for the weekend, we've got to go out west for that. And it's a very interesting setup because we've got the low pressure that is going to be moving in basically out of the front range of the Rockies, races here into the upper Midwest, and will spin somewhere. I drew this yesterday, but same idea, except the next piece of energy is going to dive in right behind it, and it's almost like the front's there just chilling out, and then this piece of energy just flies in almost like a bottle rocket and comes right into it and slams into the front and creates the spin all of a sudden that happens. That zone of where that collision happens is going to be roughly here into the Ohio Valley and the upper Midwest. Once that happens, that's when the storms light up, the low-level jet ramps up. You get a lot of backlash too from the spin, so the backside of the system is going to have some wind with it. So there's two pieces involved here, and the collision point is going to be right there into where the severe weather outlook has generally been, but we'll be part of that experience as well. The saving grace still for us in many cases is that this is a nocturnal event taking place. That cuts down on a lot of the drama on worrying about anything more severe happening, because fuel is going to be really tough to gain. It's been tough to gain already this week. If we were humid this week, we had dew points in the 70s right now. Leading up to this, we would be absolutely way more concerned than what we are. But we're not going to get the moisture that is required out of the system until Saturday afternoon. It'd be all last minute that the fuel then arrives. So we're just basing all of the forecasts right now on that they're right and they're not off any, and they probably will be. But we're trying to allow a buffer zone. But we do see the moisture surge. But once that happens, then the show begins. If it begins too late, again, the severe threat goes down. And it'll still be nasty. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's going to be raining hard. It will still be windy outside, and it'll look like a severe storm in a sense, considering how quiet it has been lately. But when you compare it to true severe thunderstorms, it really will not stand out. So that's the trend I'm noticing, is our severe threat is just hanging on barely at the moment, because we just don't have enough support yet on the fuel side. Now, high res hasn't been able to see the system yet. The NAM has a poor kilometer rating on it right now as far as the grid. It looks very pixelized, like playing a video game from the 1980s. It can't see that far out, but it can see it now. And it's jumbled, but it does bring it in early, like Saturday afternoon. The NAM tends to do that. So we're not worried about that now. But the NAM, we need a better grid to work with. We will not get that until really tomorrow. Will be the first day we should be able to start to get more fine-tuned high-res data. Then at that point, we're going to start to change our messaging, either increase our messaging or downgrade it. One way or the other, that will be the trend tomorrow. Today, I don't think it's fair to do either, really. I think we just kind of hang tight and let everything kind of evolve. But the storyline is still the same. The front, low pressure just rapidly develops on it, and it moves on out of the area. So just to kind of give you just kind of the overview of what we're looking at. So now let me show you the modeling. I'll give you one idea. This will be the, what model is this? Euro. Think for a second. There is a gnat in here, by the way. If you see it flying around the screen, swat it or something. It's gnat and stink bugs that are just like invading. I don't know what is going on this year, but they're like, it's a coup of some sort. I'm not convinced on that. All right, so here's the front, here's the low, Saturday afternoon. Again, the Euro has a good grid. Unfortunately, the Euro sees time in 6-hour increments. So, the rain you see here in West Kentucky, it could be as early as, after 5 or 4 p.m. It could be here, or it could be after midnight. It doesn't really know because it's got a 6-hour increment delay on it. So the exact placement of, the rain's moving in right at this exact time, that's a little tougher to say. The Euro is getting an upgrade actually this week or next week. And I think they're trying to improve that more on the longer term to try to get them a little faster on their updates. But anyway, just to kind of explain why sometimes we show these models and sometimes we show different ones. And there's reasons. It's all about time period and is it pixelized or not? That's what, as meteorologists, we have to figure out which one to show you. That was a long rant. Sorry. Here's the front, and here's the low pressure forming. At this point, I think Saturday is going to be a windy day, warm, good chance to hit 80, may go up to 83. That's its potential right now is 83. But if we get too warm at 83 or say 84, that also will tell me that the dew point is low. And that could eat away at the very leading edge of that, and it's going to certainly diminish some of the severe weather potential initially there. But if the temperature actually is a bit slower to climb, that tells me the moisture levels are moving in fast. So that may mean rain's going to break out a little earlier. So the dew point increase here is going to be something we'll watch on Saturday to see how fast the rain arrives. But I think overall, if you still have daytime plans on Saturday, don't cancel them. Just be aware that things could change throughout the event. You may get lucky and you're fine. It's sunny out, breezy. It will be breezy, and it's warm, and you're thinking, oh, it's summer. And then at the very last 30 minutes of your event, the sky is dark, and all of a sudden, and here comes the rain. Just be prepared for that kind of a scenario, but I don't think that's enough to cancel. I just think it just means you need to be more prepared. All right, is that fair? So we move in with the showers and thunderstorms. Now, there is 2 areas I'm watching for severe. I think ahead of the low is where you really got to watch. So while they are not outlooked in Indiana and Michigan, honestly, to me, that's where your tornado threat, because you're closer to the low, they need an outlook. We'll see if they add one in later from the Storm Prediction Center. I'm sure it's because they're in a cooler environment further to the north, but boy, they've got the dynamics there. So it wouldn't take much CAPE to cause a bigger problem for our friends up to the north there. And I think another area to watch for severe weather is really going to be roughly right through here. So that would mean that the center part into wave country, our severe threat would be much lower. I'm not saying it's 0, but that to me is the way it looks on paper, is closer to the low, and then where the higher dew points are, where this splits off, because there are signs that there's going to be more of a squall line type feature, and I think it's going to dive southeast. And with it diving southeast, that may strain the middle portion of it, which, and typically for us, usually is a lower severe threat. That moves in likely when you're asleep Saturday night, or if you're a party animal, you'll be up late. After it passes by, we're not done, because that second piece, again, that piece that's diving into and crashing into the low here, that vort still has to wrap around this low. And I don't know where that's going to go yet. Ryan and I were looking at this yesterday. There were hints that it was going to dive a little more toward Indiana and, say, Columbus. There were other pieces that were diving down toward Nashville. That is where your strongest of wind will be during the day on Sunday. And I'm talking close to advisory level. If it misses us in both scenarios, then our wind probably would be about 30 miles per hour. If the core of the wind and the wraparound were to hit us, one of these streaks, if you will, wind gusts could exceed 40 or even 45 miles per hour. So that is an important thing on Sunday to still watch. Don't know yet. And if you're overcast and rainy, you got to subtract, I would say, 15 miles per hour off what the model says. That would tend to be lower. If you're partly sunny, which some areas could go partly sunny on Sunday, then you some cases have to add 15 miles per hour to your wind gust potential from the model. So there's a lot of stuff we're watching here. This is a multiple impact type system. It's not just about severe storm potential. It's got several different things we got to watch, because it's very dynamic. It's pretty interesting on the meteorology side how this will all evolve. But I know that as far as you all, they're like, okay, well, I got plans for this and that, what it's going to do. I get that, but it's going to be a different storyline to the weekend. And you got more of your summer feel on Saturday, and then Sunday, I don't know if anyone's going to really get out of the 50s. And if you don't get sun, I don't think you're going to get out of the 50s on Sunday. I think it's one of those rainy, watch scary movies kind of day. But severe weather, no, the severe weather part would quickly be toward wherever the boundary is, the front. So off to the east. They could try to light up near Louisville, but I think overall it's going to be Eastern Kentucky's ordeal. Rainfall amounts. This is a pretty significant surge of moisture, if the models are right, that flies, again, last minute right up along the front. And because there's that little lag here, even behind it, there are some models that are wanting to give us over an inch of rain, some cases up to 2 inches of rain. So it's a good soaking rain for the weekend. All right, type, let's see, 8 times 11. 8 times 11 if you're good on all of that as far as how the storyline will go. The UK game, what somebody asked about that. Let's see, UK game, where are they playing? Vegas? I know Louisville's in Miami, right? I don't know, I thought Kentucky was at home. 88. Tawana's in there doing another octopi. 22 times 4, 88. All right. You're almost there. You're almost there. Taylor, in terms of leaves and trees, if you want to follow pictures from the family, decent amount of leaves on the trees will be the best and last day for that. As far as them have them on the trees, I would say Friday or even part of Saturday or Saturday. After this weekend, not all of them will be stripped off, but what I'm about to tell you the second part of the story here of how that will change, but some of them will, especially the ones that have already started to change color. Miss Zombie, how you doing? Mrs. Zombie Turtle. We have to go to a wedding Saturday in Edinburgh with our young kids. Should be good. We'll be in the path of severe weather. You'll have some thunderstorms. I don't think you're going to be in a big worry on severe right now. They'll be a little faster to get to you there, but I'm thinking that this is going to be a split severe look. I think it's going to split off with a low. Illinois, Michigan, Northwest Ohio is where I think this is going to trend, and then another blob that's going to be Southwest Kentucky, Nashville, and Arkansas. This is what typically happens when I've seen this track of the low. You get that splitting factor, and sometimes you get a gap. In this case, I don't think there's going to be a gap. I just think that our severe risk will be lower in that zone, but we'll still get a decent amount of rain. And at night, it's tough. At night, you get a natural, what we call an inversion, that can keep the wind above the tree line. We don't have enough high res data yet to know if that inversion will fully be there or not. Sometimes moisture advection can break that up. If that's the case, then that wind of even just 40 to 45, which is not severe, can still take place during the night, and it's going to sound a little wild. I mean, even a 40 mile per hour wind with heavy rain at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to think that's severe. Mentally, you will, because it has that effect, but it will not be severe on being able to trigger a warning. It can still cause some tree limbs to come down, twigs, a lot of leaves, and be stuck to the side of homes, that kind of thing, being blown off. So it is going to be just a messy setup, but we're worried about the severe elements. The winds could get over 60, the isolated tornado threat, that kind of stuff. That's what we're also focused on. And I think right now we will be in the lower threat level of all that if everything trends right. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I want to see that high res data first. And again, tomorrow's our first day at looking at that, and then we'll see. We'll decide which level we're going to go from there, but give us a little more time. But the good thing on the blog is I can just give you everything that's on my mind right now. UK plays at home. All right, playing Texas. Okay, yeah, UK game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, if I backtrack this up, let's see. Oh, the animations. Kicking in. All right, 6:30. Yeah, you know what? You may be fine. You may be fine. Windy and warm, but if you're heading back to Louisville, you'll be driving toward the rain, and the rain will be close to you by the time you're heading home. But yeah, you're good. You're good. Sorry, it replayed. But anyway, you should be good for the cats. There are a couple of hints that if the moisture level is higher than expected, then you may start to get these little renegade spotty showers will pop on the radar, but those will be small and won't last very long. I wouldn't worry about it, not even enough to worry about on ponchos. But your steadier rain, more active weather, that will be after sunset by the time it gets to Lexington. But it will be rainy and maybe stormy still on Sunday for you all. Okay, enough on this system. Let's move it out of here. So let's get into the wind. Again, the wind will be strong. In general, how much of that reaches the ground, still got to figure out the inversion part. We'll have more data on that with some soundings coming up in the next couple of days. May not get a full sounding idea until we get into Saturday, really. And we have to rely, I think in this case, we're going to have to rely on Nashville's weather balloon, because we don't launch weather balloons in Louisville. We have Nashville and Wilmington, Ohio are the two closest. So in this particular case, I think we should use Nashville, but we'll keep you updated. That wind moves on by, and there's the backlash wind. You see that back piece where we don't know where that's going to aim. You can see the Euro really wraps the wind up there across areas to the west, because the sun's trying to come out, and we're still cloudy and rainy. So it's harder for the wind to become more dramatic when you're raining outside and overcast. It's different than a thunderstorm setup. So it may be breezy, but it could be really strong. And if the low moves fast enough, then that could still mean this column of wind right here to our west could still drift to the northeast into our area before it fades out at sunset. So we'll watch that. But look to the west. You see the area of wind there. All right, that leads us to the next issue that's coming into play for next week as well. The severe risk. Oh, I thought I updated this, but I did not. Hold on one second. Let me put this over here, if it'll let me. Sorry about that. Do a little switcheroo on this one. Okay, so here's the severe risk for from the SPC. It doesn't really look a lot different than what we had for yesterday. It was probably a little more on the broader side. Why didn't that show up again? That is weird. Tawana, do you have a different looking map? Did we not change this today? I'm going to pick on Tawana. It may not have got switched a day over. So that's probably why, but let me look. All right, click that there, click that there, click that there. Click that on there, do a little math. Subtract the D there. Ah, there it is. All right, so now it is updated. And now you can see what I'm referring to there. Okay, so there is the, how do I get out of this now? Oh, there he is. Okay, good. The severe risk is a little more south and west of what it was from yesterday. Sorry, guys. Trying to edit on the fly here. You can see we've got that outlook right there across the Ozarks, southern areas of Missouri, southwest Kentucky. I think it's fair where it is. And if anything, it'll probably be another one that may go a little bit further south and east. I still think they need something here, though. Maybe they'll just do a marginal. This will all be a marginal, by the way. I think the whole area will be a marginal. If you're not in a slight, I think given the wind fields, I think you have to just throw a broad marginal almost everywhere. So should be a broad marginal risk, but the slight risk should be split and focused. We'll see what happens. That's their call, not my call. Day 3 outlook will take care of that. Let me show you this. This is the grid of the Euro, and this is looking in time. I know it's really hard to read, but you can see the temperatures and then wind speeds, yada, yada, yada. This is the time period we're getting into right through here of Saturday night. You see it's got us at, 82 degrees for a temperature. Dew points into the 60s, which is, that's enough. This time of year, it's a cool season. You can get a decent amount of heavier rain. The wind gusts start to ramp up Friday afternoon, and it looks like there's at 32 miles per hour from the southwest as we head into the evening hours. Above our head at about 60 miles per hour. That should stay above our head, though, at 850. Cape, where's Chris Bullseye? He's always asking my Cape. Cape, not very much. Yeah, under 500. That's maybe enough for lightning, maybe. So anyway, there's just not a huge severe signal when you look at the finer details on this. But again, high res is going to tell the storyline, so we'll worry about that. All right, the system for next week, as it rolls out, the weekend one does, there's the next one. This one's a fast-moving trough, because here's what we're facing here. We've got one system after another, after another. I counted 5 that are stacked up all the way through Halloween, 5. And with the jets being a little flatter now, these are going to roll in a hurry. You're not going to get cold or cool for very long, and certainly not cold. The cold is going to be tough, but you can still get some warm spells, but everything's going to have a limit because of the fast, rapid fire that these low pressures will have. One thing that you will notice, the wind is going to ramp up as we evolve through the half here of October. It's going to be busy. It's going to be one system after another. It's going to be breezy outside and windy. You could get some severe weather at times at one or two of these. Some of these may not have enough moisture for severe. But I think the wind element is probably the biggest thing you will notice. And Tuesday into Wednesday will be the first time you do that. So going back to the fall pictures thing, if you don't see a lot of leaves fall this weekend, these little systems, while they have very little way of rain with them, they do have wind. And they'll ramp up the wind for the middle of next week. And then yet another one will arrive at the end of next week as well to do the same thing, ramp up the wind. But then we get toward Halloween. And this is where the model stops for what I can show you. Then we get into Halloween, and this is where I think we're going to have a whole other topic. I know what you're thinking, and it's probably not what you're thinking. I'm going to say in terms of snow. The tropics are going to become alive. There's strong support here on a Caribbean development. I don't know what will happen, how strong it'll be, where it'll go, if it'll be a hurricane. I don't know. I don't know. But it's likely to be the same path that they've taken all year, just because we have so many fronts moving in. To get a tropical system to go northwest is going to be a challenge. So it's likely to go northeast along the coast. Okay, fine. That's fair. But what does that mean for us? Well, if we have a system like that tracking around Halloween, 1st of November, up the East Coast, again, these are heat engines that will really change the buckle of the upper air pattern. You're going to get a yin-yang effect, which means there's going to be a low pressure that will drop through the Ohio Valley on the other side of it. And that's where I think things could get interesting. And I'll leave it at that for now as my tease, as something that we're watching down the road. We got a lot to get through, guys, before we even get to that mess. Let me show you the 10-day. I got to get out of here. This is way longer than I thought. I didn't realize I was going to be on here. Hey, Jude. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Twana, it's fine. It's fine, Twana. I'm just picking on you, Twana. Okay, so here's the 10-day. Again, 70s today, 80s for the weekend. We'll watch the data roll in the next couple of days. You guys have been awesome. You're very patient with us. We appreciate that. I wish that everybody watching at home, we don't hear from everyone at home, that you guys have a voice, but I hope everyone, even at home that watches on TV, is patient as well. But we require that in these setups. Just be patient. We've got it flagged as just to make sure it's a highlight for a while. So we keep everyone's attention on it, and then we'll just keep fine tuning all those little elements down. And then we'll decide if they're still meet alert date criteria or not when we get to that point. If we can drop that, great. But if we feel like that there could still be some wind damage, we'll have to likely leave it up. And then next week, windy and very little rain, but windy as well. Fair enough. Everyone, type 3. Well, keep it easy. Type 3 if you're good on all of that. All of that. Type 1 if you think that Tawana owes me a Twix bar. Hey, Tech. How you doing? Thanks for watching on Twitch. Miss Zombie is on Twitch. A lot of Twitch viewers today. I watch Twitch a lot. So I'm always on there. So you probably will find me on Twitch, more than likely. All right, any threes? Any threes? Any threes? Any threes? I see a 1. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. Jeremy, we'll get to that on the next long-term update. Okay, I'll leave it there. It was a long one today. I think I've been on with you guys. How long have I been on here? 30, what's that say? 33 minutes? That's a long time. It's a long time. See, I like y'all so much. I just want to spend my whole day with you. But unfortunately, I've got to get ready for the 11 o'clock show, and I haven't done a single thing yet. I'm a procrastinator. It's really bad. Okay, you guys have a good rest of the day, and I will find you coming up on midday at 11 a.m. Have a good one, guys. See you soon.